was sure, like from my score, the consultants told me that I couldn't get into, Canadian top universities because like I had a 74%, and they told us to no go for Canadian universities. So I did my mechanical engineering in Anna University, Chennai, India, and obviously one of the affiliated colleges. And then I had an hands-on experience. I got a couple of internships during my time. I actually, one of the main things on my resume was I actually got an opportunity to work with Airbus. I got into them through a competition called Fly Your Ideas, and my team, like four of us, we were selected for it, and so that was a big hit on my resume. And then I did my internship with Caterpillar. I worked for a startup. I started my application in my final year. That's my seventh semester. And I started emailing professors in Canada and the US. I was sure, like from my score, the consultants told me that I couldn't get into, Canadian top universities because like I had a 74%, and they told us to no go for Canadian universities, so I had to go for colleges. But I trusted in crafting my application. Though I was not good at school, I was good at many other things, and I had a pretty good resume. I believed in that, so I got to craft my own resume. I wanted to go into a B school, a management school for sure. That was my goal at the end of engineering. I did not have any experience after my, my undergrad. Like I graduated in 2019. I started my master's in 2019. Here I focused University of Ottawa, Western University, Ryerson University, and Queen's University. Those are my top goals in Canada. If I didn't get that, I thought I'll eliminate Canada and go to USA. USA, I applied to like safe, ambitious and reachable universities, and obviously, things I got were Buffalo, sunny Buffalo, and Stevens. I'm not sure what even I applied to. It's been a couple of years ago. A very big challenge because everybody, including the consultants and many people, gave me only negative. Nobody except me believed that I would go into a good university. So I obviously looked for I wouldn't say hacks, but looked for ways that could improve my ways to get admitted. So, and the four universities I mentioned in Canada obviously wanted GRE, so I thought a GRE could be a better factor for my admission, but still I didn't do that great on GRE. It was an okay score, and so this was one other option. I had to try it out, and it worked. Yeah, they had a minimum of 75. Like all universities do have 75%, but they don't take for 75. They obviously demand more. And GRE score, the average was like 311, 312, and IELTS scores usually they have for 6.5 and over. I had a 7.5 on IELTS. Yeah, pretty straightforward. But I think University of Ottawa or any other university in Canada looked more into the profile, than anything else. And I feel I had a good profile. Like I had a startup. I worked for Airbus. I worked for a startup. I worked for a startup also, and I had like many fundings that come to me while I was doing my undergrad. Yeah, so these are the key points on my resume. I wanted to do that because even in the US I applied for industrial engineering, but in Canada I wanted to do that because it was not that glorious to be a mechanical engineering in Canada. When I did my research from India, I spoke to people, and I still feel so because I feel like getting a job in Canada is like the hardest part than anything else. So I don't know about the US, but I have friends in US. While I compare, I feel the hardest part is to get in Canada. So I didn't want to get stuck into mechanical engineering. I wanted to keep it a bit open. So undergrad is mechanical. If I had an opportunity, I would pursue that. So I wanted to do something different. I got into management because like most of my undergrad, my internships and my experience was turning me more into a management kind of an developed experience. So I took a management course. Absolutely. Toronto is like a bigger city, the only big city in Canada, I would say. Like every other place is underpopulated, but Toronto is like overpopulated and it's too competitive to find a living in this place. Comparatively, Ottawa is a little bit cheaper to live in than Toronto, but you mean the groceries and the living expense, gas and everything like the same, but the rent and the obviously it depends. Like for me, it's insurance and the rent. So insurance and rent are cheaper in Ottawa, more in Toronto. But Ottawa is a kind of a city that demands, if you have to work and find a job in Ottawa, you need to have a PR or a 5 year like you have to be in Canada 5 years. But only then, like 95% of the projects in Ottawa are like federal government projects, and the government doesn't let you work as temporary worker with them. So you obviously like not only from Ottawa, from many different places, people move to Toronto to find a job, and that's why it's like overpopulated city. When I came in 2019, Ottawa is like a bulk city, like only a lot of students and a lot of native people, not native, like at least citizens living in it. Ottawa is a kind of a city, but in Toronto, you can find you can divide people like in 10 classes. So it was way cheap and easy to find a job, part-time job in Ottawa, but in Toronto, finding a part-time job is not an easy thing as well. It's similar to finding a job. So Ottawa, like I switched like 5 part-time jobs, and so that was like pretty straightforward and easy because like students are the only source of workforce in that area. At this moment, I'm not intending to come back to India. At least, I need my PR for being here, doing my master's. I'm just about to start the process. To apply for a PR, you need specific number of hours, 1,500 hours given today. So I've accumulated like 400 hours, and I need the rest, probably maybe 8 more months or something. And then by the time I have to take my IELTS and things and apply for it. And I haven't thought about the provincial nomination program yet because, this is pretty straightforward. Provincial takes a bit longer time, and I thought maybe I'll go with the other one after gaining some experience because my permit is valid until 2024. I have a lot of time to think and apply. So there's a way for everything. Just keep your eyes open and try contacting as many people as you could. And if the goal is set, there should be a way for it.